Typically, people make money on Redbubble by creating a design in Photoshop or other image manipulation software and then uploading it to t-shirts or other products that are available on the site. So they'll create the artwork and they'll upload it to a product, and it might look a little something like some of these. Now, I've said before, you don't need to be a great designer to be making money on this platform. And in fact, you don't have to be a designer at all. You can just take photos. And I'm going to show you an example of a guy that I found who does pretty much exclusively that and is making money on Redbubble. So his name is 𝗬𝗚𝗧-𝗦𝗡𝗧, and he's from Perth, Australia. I assume this 𝗬𝗚𝗧-𝗦𝗡𝗧 is a reference to the camera that he uses, or used to use, the Canon EOS 20D. So you can see from this Wikipedia page, it was announced on the 19th of August 2004 at a retail price of $1499. So it was back in the day quite an expensive camera. You probably get them a lot cheaper used these days, but in fact you don't actually need a DSLR at all, because most modern smartphones are more than enough for the task of taking pictures and uploading them to Redbubble to make sales. So if you've got a modern iPhone or a Samsung or something similar to that, I think it will be fine for taking pictures and uploading them on Redbubble. So we'll look at the guy's portfolio now. He's been on Redbubble for quite a while. He's got 455 followers, he's got over 2,500 favourites of his work, he's properly filled out his portfolio, he's got loads of collections down the right hand side, and I assume this is work which at some point has sold. He will then place it into this sold work category. And he's got loads of different things on here. Not every photo he takes is going to make a sale, but not every design that you create and upload is going to make a sale either. The thing is, when it comes to taking pictures, it tends to be a lot easier than actually creating something from scratch in Photoshop. So if you can't make something in Photoshop or similar software, then you might want to think about taking pictures when you're out and about. So we'll look in the guy's work in sold work. And by the way, just to make you aware, I came across a forum post of his from about 4 years ago where he claimed that he'd made 325 sales. That was almost 4 years ago now, and he has uploaded a lot of work since then, so I assume he's made a lot more sales than that. We don't know how many sales he's made or how much profit he's made. All we know is he's making sales. So we will sort his work by top selling. And his top selling one is this picture that he took of Dingo Flour Mill. Now, I have no idea what this is, but it's apparently somewhere in Western Australia. And this is something to bear in mind when you're either out and about in your hometown or you're visiting a major attraction like a city centre in a capital or something like that. When you take pictures and put them online like this, it's available to the whole world. So whether it's residents of that city or whether it's tourists that are interested in getting a souvenir from somewhere that they've gone, then there's always that opportunity to make sales. And I've actually put up a few things around my local area which have surprised me because it's such a tiny town and it has made sales. So there's even things to be found. There's money to be made just walking around your hometown and taking good quality pictures. So if we look at the sort of products that this guy's put them on, he does seem to have put it on everything. In terms of apparel, I find it unlikely that these are going to sell, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to put them on. I would question his placement. I think that probably needs to be a bit higher up, and same with these. However, I think he's probably going for prints and canvases and things like that. Cases and skins, yeah, it's a good opportunity to make sales. Probably may have made a few sales of those. But the big one for these sort of things is wall art. So especially posters, canvas prints, photo prints and art boards. If we look at the canvas print, the markup is actually quite high. It costs quite a lot of money to get a canvas print on Redbubble. If you have a look, it's going to be different prices for you in whatever your currency is. But for me, it's £42 for a small one. The extra large one is £94.50. So you can actually earn a significant amount of profit on these. A lot more than you can do on t-shirts anyway. He's put them on home decor as well, and also bags. So again, just think about placement when you're uploading these things. I wouldn't say that's a good placement for a floor pillow. He could have made the photo fit across the whole thing, but instead we've got these white bits, and I think that would deter a customer. So just little things like that. But like I say, the main thing is probably going to be the wall art that makes sales for photos. Looking at his other things that I've sold as well, that's something he's made in Photoshop or whatever. A beach, again, that's Western Australia. Again, there's that flour mill. Morning reflection, a picture that he's taken, something about peak hour traffic. Vegemite and toast, which is notoriously popular in Australia. We've got Jetty at dusk and all these other things that are available that he's uploaded. So there's all these different things. We've sorted by top selling. So obviously these are the top selling going down. This has sold more than anything else. And then as we get further down, there's less and less sales. But as I said, the point is you can quite easily make money on Redbubble by just taking pictures of things, and it's so much quicker than designing something from scratch. So if you are a good photographer, or even if you're an amateur photographer and you've got access to a good quality phone, even something like this, Tea Time, this I assume at some point has made sales. We don't know the exact specifics as to what profit margin he's got or what sales he's made, but what we do know is probably at some point this has made sales. I often take pictures when I'm out and about, and it's one of those things where if you take a picture that looks really nice, consider uploading it to Redbubble. Do a little bit of editing if you know what you're doing in Photoshop, make it look a little bit nicer, crop it, all these sort of things. But something like this, so simple, you never know, someone might buy it. And yeah, he's just put this on wall art and stationery. He hasn't bothered with the apparel and things like that. He may have gone in on that other one actually after he's made a few sales and put the apparel on because it's so popular. He might have thought that he could make some extra sales that way, I don't know. But just to say really that this guy exists, he's making money, he pretty much exclusively uses photography as his main medium. There are a few little Photoshop ones in there, but the majority of his work that's sold is photography related. And there's plenty of other people doing the same thing on Redbubble. I've made photography sales myself. I have to say the majority of my uploads are Photoshop, but when you're out and about taking pictures or when you're out on a trip, consider just uploading some of those to Redbubble and seeing how you get on. You might be able to make some money. It might even become your primary medium of uploading things to Redbubble. It's a hell of a lot quicker than thinking of an idea, a unique original idea that people will buy. It's a hell of a lot quicker than designing it in Photoshop and, getting all the proportions right and then uploading it. The photo's there for you, really quick to upload and hopefully make some sales on. So consider that. There's all sorts of other things available. There's all sorts of other mediums on Redbubble as well. It doesn't have to just be these. But just bear in mind that just because Photoshop and t-shirts are the main medium that people use on Redbubble doesn't mean that there's no profit to be made elsewhere. Experiment and find what's best for you.